Okay, the cars in this heat race, I didn't get a chance to run down the order. Don Geyer is out front, I believe, in car number 111. He's from Coldwater, Michigan. The 28 car, the second place car is Scott Coe. He's from Fort Wayne. In third, car number 7, that's Steve Chrisman from Fort Wayne. Remember, the first 4 finishers transfer to the night's feature. Car number 9 is Dan Good. Dan Good in car 9, your last transfer car. Behind him is Lee Raymond in car number 2. So again, Don Geyer out front from Coldwater, Michigan. Don Geyer. These lineups decided by a draw before tonight's action. They'll complete the 5th lap this time by Don Geyer from Coldwater, Michigan, still your leader. Scott Coe is second. Third in car number 7 is Steve Chrisman. Fourth in car number 7, make that car number 9, Dan Good from Lapeer, Michigan. White flag this time for Don Geyer in car number 111. Your 4 transfer cars way out front of everybody else. And your winner from Coldwater, Michigan, Don Geyer. Finishing second, Scott Coe. Third is Steve Chrisman. Fourth goes to Dan Good. Fifth in car number 2 was Lee Raymond from Dayton, Ohio. Car 22 finishes 6th. That was Kurt Howe from Fountaintown, Indiana. And looks like car number 1, Mark Young, finishes 7th, I believe, from Greenfield, Indiana. Sorry I didn't get a chance to run those drivers down before the start of that. I got caught a little behind there. But your winner, again, Don Geyer from Coldwater, Michigan. First 4 transfer on the pole, Roger Terlosky from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Alongside from Fortville, Indiana, Ken Dayton in 78. The second row in 410, that's Rick Stout from Stanton, Michigan. And alongside in 11 from Indianapolis, Aaron Howell. Then comes Jim Chin from Vandalia, Ohio. Buddy Davis from Muncie, Indiana in 57. 21 is Roger Winget from Springfield. And 38, Casey Spillers. 8 laps. 8 laps for the IMCA E-Mod Series in the first heat race. The leader at 78 is Ken Dayton. Second, a close second, that's car number 2, Roger Terlosky from Fort Wayne. Some excellent racing back there in that pack. That's 38 on the inside back there. Now contact on the backstretch between 71, Jim Chin, and 11, Aaron Howe. It's still Ken Dayton out front. Roger Terlosky second. Rick Stout third. And 71, Jim Chin. Jim Chin, currently your last transfer car, but now Roger Winget and Casey Spillers all over him for that fourth and final transfer spot. Winget off the racetrack trying to get underneath 71 for that fourth transfer spot. Chin kind of turned left on him getting off the fourth turn. Now Chin spins in turn 4. From Springfield, Ohio, then comes Casey Spillers from Fort Wayne, and the next car, 11, Aaron Howe from Indianapolis. 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. We'll see what Roger Winget, see if he can hold on to that fourth and final transfer position. Now Dayton with a bit of an advantage over Terlosky. Ken Dayton the leader at 78. A white flag this time. Now a Rick Stout gets some heavy pressure from Roger Winget and Casey Spillers. Meantime, your winner will be Ken Dayton. It'll be close back there for that third and fourth spot. Ken Dayton the winner. Terlosky finishes second. Third. We have to get that coin out to figure out who the rest of them were. Finishing third was Roger Winget. Coming home fourth, your last transfer car was Rick Stout. And in fifth, Casey Spillers. So Ken Dayton the winner. Roger Terlosky comes across second. On the pole, it's Jerry Stapleton from Troy, Ohio in 980. Outside, Ron Clay from Milford Center, Ohio in 45. Springfield, Ohio driver Jim Davis is next. Then comes Dan Krutzenberger from Greenwood, Indiana. Next up is Ron Dancer in the next row, along with Mike Bruner. Then comes Dave Dingus and Chuck Minot from Fort Wayne. 8 laps, heat race number 3. .980 is Jerry Stapleton. 45 is Ron Clay. Next up in that the next car in line, 98 is Jim Davis. Jim Davis is third. 2 laps in the record books. It's still car 980, Jerry Stapleton, the leader. Ron Clay in 45 looking for a way around. A good race for that 3rd and 4th spot. That's Ron Dancer in 37 trying to move around the car 78. Or make that car 98 of Jim Davis. Halfway. Halfway. Now, car 37 still outside. Again, 37 is Ron Dancer from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He's got the advantage down the backstretch, and he'll take over 3rd. Dancer will. Now trying to move past the car 98 car, the car number 98 for that last transfer spot is 49, Dave Mingus. White flag. Jerry Stapleton halfway down the backstretch. Now he's your leader. The battle develops for 2nd between Ron Clay and the rest of the crew. Your winner in car number 980 is Jerry Stapleton from Troy, Ohio. 2nd in 45 out of Milford Center, Ohio, Ron Clay. 3rd in car 37, Ron Dancer. Next comes 49. Your last transfer car to the feature was Dave Mingus from Vermontville, Michigan. So those are your 4 transfer cars. Finishing 5th was 17. Here's your winner, by the way. The sponsor by WONE, Stapleton, Buick and GMC. The driver again, Jerry Stapleton, car number 980, the winner of the 3rd heat race. Back to the lineup. Outside of row number 1, car number 11S from Enon, Ohio, Dave Stacy. Stacy with quite a few laps here at the Speedway. Next up, Roger Roush in R7 from Plain City, Ohio. Then comes Gary Hall out of Martinsville, Indiana in car 59. Next row, 23, Dave Bice. I believe Bice was the feature winner here when the E-Mods visited here last year. He's from Avila, Indiana. And outside, Terry Flora out of Springfield. Then comes Ken Rutherford in car number 9 from Englewood, Ohio in car 9. I already said that. And finally, Tom Randolph, another guy with some laps here. Some career feature wins in a late model division a couple years back. Tom Randolph starts last in car 1M. 8 laps again for the E-Mods. Heat race number 4. Synchronized spinning in turn number 1. And we got a yellow flag. 50-lap feature coming up later on for the E-Mods here at the Speedway. Stacy takes over from his outside. Front row starting spot. 2nd is Cunningham. 3rd, Roger Roush. Dave Bice is 4th. Now Bice wastes no time going to the outside of Roger Roush. Dave Bice in 23 on the move. Bice is 3rd. He'll set his sights on Buddy Cunningham now, trying to move underneath in the 4th turn. And Bice wastes no time moving from his 5th starting spot. Make that, 5th starting spot. He runs 2nd. Dave Stacy out front. Buddy Cunningham is 3rd. Roger Roush currently 4th, but now Terry Flora and Tom Randolph challenging Roush for that final transfer spot. Halfway. Dave Stacy way out front. Dave Bice looks to be running about the same lap times. Again, these heat races lined up by the luck of the draw, so Stacy grew a good fill. He started outside front row. Still Dave by second. Roush and Terry Flora slugging it out. Some contact off the fourth turn in that last lap. White flag this time for Dave Stacy. Now Flora moves up to fourth. Rounding the fourth turn, your winner of the fourth heat race, Keene, Ohio's Dave Stacy. Second is Dave Bice. Third goes to Buddy Cunningham. Fourth is Terry Flora. Finishing fifth in car number 1 was Tom Randolph, and sixth Roger Roush in R7. Graham Ford, Jiffy Lube, night at the races. On the pole in car number 70 from Germantown, Ohio, a one-time feature winner in 1993, it's Joe Hill. Alongside out of Powell, Ohio, another one-time winner here at the Speedway, Mike Rush, your third fast qualifier. Make that, third fast. Second fast qualifier, Ken Sward, starts inside to the second row. And on the tail, Jim Cruz, 4 laps, your fastest 4 limited sportsman qualifiers, the Limited Sportsman Trophy Dash. Hill with the advantage down the backstretch. Rush slips back a bit on the outside. Now Ken Sward, second fast qualifier, moves up to challenge Joe Hill. Sward, of course, the point leader entering tonight's racing action. He'll look beneath Joe Hill down the front stretch halfway. Good battle. 2 Luminas go at it for that third spot. Now Sward, with a nose underneath Hill, but he can't make it stick down the back straight. White flag for Joe Hill this time. It's Hill, Sward, Rush, and Cruz. Here comes Ken on the outside. I don't know if he's going to have enough time or not. Your winner, Joe Hill. Sward comes home second. Third is Mike Rush. And fourth, Jim Cruz. Joe's first make that second Trophy Dash victory of 1993 in that blue number 70. Joe, the owner of this Monte Carlo, he was a 1990 Limited Sportsman Track Champion here at Columbus. Heat race in car 23, starting first, it's John Matthews. John Matthews in 23. Alongside of him on that front row in car 99, the pilot is J.R. Whitaker. Whitaker in 99. Bob Gruball starts next in car number 10. And flanking him in row 2 in 77 is Bob Bocook. Next up, we've got Charlie Osborne in 02. 19, Larry Peterson. 29, Bob Justice. 01, Jerry Buck. And 53, Russ Bob. 8 laps, your first limited, first limited sportsman heat race. J.R. Whitaker now with an advantage down the backstretch over John Matthews. Whitaker hot into the third turn. He slips high, but holds on to that lead. J.R. Whitaker will lead lap 1. He pulls along with him in 77. Bob Bocook now second. Third, currently Larry Peterson. Fourth is Bob Justice. 2 laps this time around. Whitaker out front in 99. Bob Bocook second. And now Charlie Osborne and John Matthews have it come together in turn number 1. 3 laps down. A false start. False start. So we had at $1,800 Clark Oil Challenge money tonight. So your leader is J.R. Whitaker, still in car 999. A little better start that time. It's a keeper. They'll get the cross flags from starter Jim Paul. This time around halfway. Justice almost with a nose underneath Bob Bocook. Down the front stretch, still Larry Peterson toils on the outside. Two laps to go. And we got a yellow flag. Okay, I need to explain a situation here. We've got a breakout. What that means is we allow these drivers to go up to 0.25 of a second. That's a quarter of a second per lap, faster than their qualifying time. Bob Bocook the leader. Bob Justice jumps on a restart. Bob Justice disqualified. 2 jumps in 1 race apparently. So Justice is disqualified. Your leader is Bob Bocook. White flag for Bocook. Justice disqualified. Larry Peterson now second. Near winner, I believe his first heat race win of 1993, Bob Bocook. Larry Peterson finishes second. Third, I believe, was Russ Bob. Fourth, Charlie Osborne. So again, Bob Bocook, the winner of the first Limited Sportsman Heat Race. This car owned by Shauna Bocook, sponsored by Central Ohio Engines, Teamsters Local 284, REZ Trucking, Cantley's Racing Parts. Second Limited Sportsman Heat Race. On the pole in car number 76, it's Buddy Townsend alongside in 20, Mike Brown. Second row, car number 66, that's Paul Baker Jr. And beside him in 17, Sam Heckman. Then comes row 3 with Randy Sward and Carl Stapleton. Next, we've got Zero Hill in the orange number 0 and Jim Kidd in 25. Again, 8 laps for this, the second Limited Sportsman Heat event. Picture perfect start with front row drivers Buddy Townsend and Mike Brown nose to nose down the backstretch. And now Brown, the leader in 20. He's followed in line by Bob Justice, Sam Heckman, and Paul Baker. Heckman with the advantage over Baker down the backstretch. Now Randy Sward will try to make his way around Paul Baker Jr. Meantime, Mike Brown slips in turn 4. He's off of it. Your new leader is Buddy Townsend. They'll be halfway this time. And now yellow flag. We're not sure what that was about. Mike Brown with some kind of mechanical difficulty in that car, on that car. Trying to move around Buddy Townsend. Now Zero Hill up to challenging that orange car all the way from the tail. Baker sideways. He and Randy Sward touch down the backstretch. White flag for Buddy Townsend. Now Zero Hill moves around Randy Sward for third. Townsend looks to be a safe bet. And his first heat race win of 1993, Buddy Townsend. Second by a whisker is Paul Baker Jr. Third, Zero Hill. And fourth, Randy Sward. And fifth, Carl Stapleton. I'd say that Zero Hill is going to be one to watch. That car looks like it's dialed in tonight. He came all the way from the tail of that heat race and almost got second. Let's see, the lineup for the late model trophy dash. By the way, the inversion draw was a number 8. So a number 8 inversion draw. That means that 8 cars will be inverted in the late model feature event. The 8th fast qualifier will start on the pole, and the fast qualifier in 8th spot in the late model feature later this evening. Here's the lineup for this, the late model trophy dash. Starting first in car 64 with his fourth fast qualifying time of the evening, Bobby Fye in car 64. Alongside in car number 19 out of Centerville, Ohio, the driver is Carlton Smith. The second row, they were up here testing earlier this week. Apparently it did some good with second fast time, car number 11, Dick Dunleavy Jr. And on the tail, your fast qualifier, car 61, Mike Ward. 4 cars, 4 laps, your fastest 4 late model qualifiers. Bob Fye tries to fend off Carlton Smith down the backstretch. One lap complete. It's still Bob Fye, Carlton Smith, Dick Dunleavy Jr. and Mike Ward. Halfway. Smith sideways in the second turn. Now Dunleavy will challenge on the outside of Bob Fye. White flag this time. Dick Dunleavy Jr. on the move. Bob Pye on the inside. Dunleavy from New Carlisle, Ohio on the outside. The checkered flag awaits them at the start-finish line. It'll be close. The winner, Dick Dunleavy Jr. Second goes to Bob Pye. Mike Ward comes home third, and fourth, Carlton Smith. His third Trophy Dash appearance of 1993, but his first win in the premier event, the Fast Qualifier Fast Four Trophy Dash, Dick Dunleavy Jr. His first Trophy Dash win of 1993. Late model heat race on the track. Ten laps. They'll line up thusly. In car number 12, it's Denny Dean. Outside of him, number 90, that's Ron Freebus. Second row, Greg Markham in 23. And 63 is John Hellman. Next up, that's Wayne Watercutter in 9. And car number 8 is Jerry Johns. And on the tail in 41, the driver is John Sedlacek. 10 laps for the first late model heat race. So late model preliminary action. This the first late model heat race here on Grand Ford Jiffy Lube Night at the Races. It's Freebus out front. The early leader down the backstretch, Ron Freebus. Denny Dean with trouble in that car number 12. He's off the racetrack. John Hellman is second. Hellman from Sydney, Ohio. Greg Markham third in car 23. Still Ron Freebus, John Hellman, Greg Markham, Wayne Watercutter is fourth. John Sedlacek trying to get by him. And now another breakout situation. Apparently Ron Freebus quite a bit faster than his qualifying effort. So he'll go to the tail. The break. Still John Hellman the leader. The cross flags will greet them this time around. They'll be halfway with Hellman out front. A good battle for that first and third spot. Now John Sedlacek. Sedlacek gets past Watercutter for third. Meantime, a good battle at the front as Hellman tries to hold off Greg Markham. Close off the fourth turn. Markham moves past in car 23. Hellman back to second. Sedlacek closing in car 41. 8 laps this time. Sedlacek looks to the inside of Hellman on the backstretch, but he can't do it. Your winner is Greg Markham. John Hellman comes across second. Third goes to John Sedlacek. Fourth is Ron Freebus. And fifth, your fifth place finisher, Wayne Watercutter. Okay, so Lonnie Rush has declined the Clark Oil Challenge. That means that next week, tonight's feature winner will have the opportunity to start last in next week's 75-lap feature. My guess is they'll get somebody. We might get somebody probably next week to try it since it is such a long race. But the feature winner from tonight will have the opportunity to start last next week and go for a $2,000 bonus along with the $1,200 feature prize money. So somebody could win $3,200 next week. Okay, the lineup: Mike Simpson and Mike Denny on the front row. Second row, Randy Maynard and Bussy Blackford. Then comes Burgess White and car 15, Mike Carroll, and Lonnie Rush on the tail. 10 laps. Mike Denny and Mike Simpson. Now Simpson with the advantage as Denny squirrely down the backstretch. He holds on to it. Meantime, we got Burgess White. Burgess White with a spin in turn number 3. And all those cars, nobody, although there were a couple cars moved out of line, they didn't gain an advantage before the start-finish line. So no call on the jumping because they didn't gain the advantage. Now Blackford moves around Mike Denny for second. It's still Mike Simpson the leader. Blackford and Mike Denny still slugging it out for second. Randy Maynard fourth in car 39. Mike Carroll way sideways in turn 1 and 2. He recovers, but Lonnie Rush moves past. Rush now in fifth spot. Halfway. Pulls up on a back bumper of Randy Maynard for fourth position, race for fourth. The leader is still Mike Simpson. Up to fourth position. The white flag will be out this time around for Mike Simpson en route to possibly his second heat race win of 1993. Mike Denny still holds down that second spot. Blackford now third. And the winner with his second heat race win of 1993, Mike Simpson. Mike Denny finishes second. Third was Bussy Blackford. Fourth, Lonnie Rush Sr. And fifth, Car number 39, Randy Maynard. While it was Simpson's second heat race win of 1993, we just checked Mike Denny's best heat race appearance so far this year. Mike Denny previously had finished no better than 4th in heat race. From Darvydale, Ohio, currently 4th in the NASCAR regional point standings, Robbie Dean. Robbie Dean in 94. Alongside in car number 6, a guy who has had 3 runner-up finishes in 1993 here at the Speedway, Jerry Mitchell in car number 6. The second row in car 1 from Columbus, Ohio. This driver currently ranks 12th in the regional point standings for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. It's Terry Humphrey. Alongside of him in 26, with 1 feature win to his credit this year here at the Speedway, Bill Cantley. Up next, car 21 from Miamisburg, Ohio, John Vallow. Then we've got car number 7 from Reynoldsburg, Bobby Edwards. And on the tail, your 1992 track champion, car 92, Donnie Renner. By the way, Renner is 6th this week in the regional point standings for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Great Northern Region. Again, 10 laps for this, the 3rd late model heat race. Robbie Dean, but Jerry Mitchell nipping at that left rear quarter panel. 2 laps, they'll complete 3 laps this time. Mitchell again to the inside of Dean. Now Jerry Mitchell catches that curve off the second turn. Robbie gets the advantage, but he comes back off 4. Now John Vallow pulls around Terry Humphrey for 3rd. Vallow is 3rd in car 21. Halfway. A good battle at the front between Robbie Dean and Jerry Mitchell. Donnie Renner pulls off on a backstretch. He is out. Renner out in 92. Vallow begins to pull in on your 2 leaders. Both these guys out front, veteran late model competitors. Mitchell on the inside, Robbie Dean outside. Mitchell out front. White flag this time for Jerry Mitchell. It'll be close, but their winner, Jerry Mitchell. Second is Robbie Dean. 3rd, John Vallow. 4th, Terry Humphrey, and 5th, Bobby Edwards. So Mitchell notches his 2nd heat race win of the 1993 racing season here at Columbus Motor Speedway. As I said Mitchell has had 3 runner-up finishes. He finished 2nd last week to Lonnie Rush. Starting first in car number 17, fourth fast time for this gentleman, it's Steve Tuttle. Tuttle in 17. Outside in 77, and the feature winner the last 2 weeks, Don Townsend Jr. with third fast time tonight. Townsend already with 4 Trophy Dash wins this year, looking for number 5. The second row in car 70, that's Heavy Hill. And outside in 22, Donald Parsons III. Tuttle with the advantage down the front stretch on the start. Heavy Hill right behind him. Townsend tries to keep Hill hemmed in through turns 3 and 4, but he can't do it. Heavy Hill now moves to the outside groove. Or does he? Tucks back in behind Tuttle in turns 1 and 2. Halfway down the backstretch on turn number 2. Steve Tuttle, Heavy Hill. Now Townsend and Parsons go at for third. Halfway. Steve Tuttle in his first Trophy Dash appearance, I think, of his career tonight. Leads lap number 3, gets a white flag. Now Townsend with some sort of difficulty on that car 77. He's out of contention. Here comes Donald Parsons challenging Heavy Hill for second. Your winner, his first Trophy Dash ever, Steve Tuttle. Donald Parsons finishes second. Third goes to Heavy Hill. And rounding out the field in car 77 is Don Townsend. So Tuttle, previous to tonight this year, had 1 heat race win, 2 second place feature finishes Tuttle had to his credit before tonight, coming into tonight's action. And he wins his first ever Trophy Dash tonight. Steve Tuttle. Next, Rodney Roush going. He's going to the front already. I guess he must belong up there in third spot. Let's see, the lineup goes like this. It's Gary Lamer, Brian McDowell on the front row. Then comes Rodney Roush and Sandy Butcher. Bob Miller and Jimmy Romans in the third row. Darrell Dexter, Ron Mangus, Tom Bond, Russ Harper, and Randy Taylor round out the field. 8 laps. The street stock first heat race. It's Gary Lamer out front. Challenging is Rodney Roush in R7. And Brian McDowell hard into the front stretch wall. The leader, Rodney Roush, is second. Bob Miller third. Jimmy Romans fourth. 7 to go. And Rodney Roush slips underneath Gary Lamer off the fourth turn. Lamer with trouble in 34. He's off the racetrack on the backstretch. Rodney Roush out front. Jimmy Romans now second. So again, Rodney Roush out front. So the action at the front, oh, this ought to be interesting. Oh. Ron Mangus now the leader in 00. Or is he? Mangus spins in turn 4. Mangus spins in turn 4. The leader is Daryl Dexter in car number 5 now. Rodney Roush, car R7, disqualified for rough driving. Roush disqualified, he's out. Dexter leader, your second place car in the race. Jimmy Roman's in 36. Third is Sandy Butcher. Fourth, Bob Miller. White flag for Daryl Dexter. Roush slows a bit in R7. He has been disqualified. Jimmy Romans moves around for second. Your winner is Daryl Dexter. Jimmy Romans finishes second. Third now, Bob Miller. Fourth is Sandy Butcher. So again, R7, Rodney Roush qualified. It's not so much that Mangus got sideways, and the thing that Roush didn't do, he didn't let off. He stayed on the gas, got into the back of Mangus. Okay, the winner. Second street stock heat race. We've got Phil Gussler on the front row along with Herm Hunley, who we understand has a birthday tonight. Happy birthday, Herm. Second row, Rick Honecker and Bubba Parsons. Then comes Brian New, Kevin Ingram, Vic Matheson, Clyde Trowbridge, Mike Hamilton, and Don Holland. 8 laps. The leader is Phil Gussler. Herm Hunley in 7 is second. Now Hunley moves up to challenge Gussler for the lead. Bubba Parsons third in car number 12. Honecker is fourth in 72. And the new leader is Herm Hunley. With a birthday tonight, Herm has. He's out front. That's Gussler second. With one heat race so far this year, one heat race victory. He's trying to hold on. They'll complete the 5th lap this time. Now Bubba Parsons begins to make his way around Phil Gussler. Vic Matheson sideways off the 4th turn in 02, holds down the 4th spot. Now Clyde Trowbridge off the base in 69. Trowbridge off the racetrack. White flag for the birthday boy this time around. Herm Hunley still the leader. The good battle for second spot. Also a good race back there for 4th. Hunley will hold on for the win. Second place will be close. Your winner, Herm Hunley. We're going to have to wait for the call on second. It was close. Finishing second was Phil Gussler. Third, in a close battle, went to Donald, make that Bubba Parsons. Finishing fourth was Vic Matheson in 02, your fourth place finisher. So happy birthday for Herm Hundley. $1,000 to win. Okay, Mike Schweier and Bo Davis will pace the field around for this, the third street stock heat event. The second row is Jamie Hunt and Norm Ackerman, Jim McCulley and Herb Pennington in row 3. Then comes Bill Hundley, Dave Dysinger, Bill Wellman in 6, and Dale Brown in 13. Again, 8 laps for this, the street stock third heat race. Mike Schweier in front, Jamie Hunt second. That's Bo Davis in 18, and 15 Norman Ackerman in a tight battle for third place. This time. Still Mike Schweier, Jamie Hunt, Norm Ackerman, and Herb Pennington in front 4. Schweier still the leader. He'll get the white flag this time. Jamie Hunt trying to move inside. He tries to bull his way inside in turn 1. Schweier isn't having any of it. Now Hunt will try the outside. Schweier en route to his first heat race win of 1993. Jamie Hunt is second. Norman Ackerman third. Fourth, Herb Pennington, and Dave Dysinger rounds out the top 5. So again, Schweier, who didn't start this year until late. He came out for his first race on May 22nd. He holds on to that lead and victory over a determined Jamie Hunt. Spillers with a birthday today, so happy birthday to KC Spillers in 38. The next row, Jim Davis in 98, Tom Randolph in 1M. Then comes 2H, or 22H, Kurt Howe. Oh, now they say Huff, Kurt Huff, and Jim Chin. And next we got Chuck Minot, Roger Roush, Mark Young, Aaron Huff, sorry about that. Mike Bruner, Ken Rutherford, Lee Raymond, Buddy Davis, Dan Krutzenberger, and Gary Hall. Ten laps for the E-Mod B main. Contact on the backstretch. The first 4 finishers move on. A wild first lap in the record books. Your leader is Jim Davis. Now a spin on the backstretch. These guys are hungry. Car 59, hard contact with something at any rate. I didn't even see that. Didn't catch that action down there. 7, that must be Chuck Minot in the 5th spot. Jim Davis out front. Roger Roush now holding down that 4th spot. The race at the front is Davis and Spillers. A good battle for that 4th spot between Roush and Minot. Chuck Minot is 4th in car 97. Chuck Minot with hard contact. Him and Kurt Huff down in turn number 1. Huff off the pace in car 22. And Kurt Huff is out of the event. Kurt Huff off the racetrack. Your leader is Jim Davis. 2nd is Casey Spillers. 3rd, Chuck Minot. Now your 4th place car is car number 10. Mike Bruner is 4th in car 10. Roger Roush is 5th in R7. Your leader is down the backstretch. 98, the black 98, your leader, Jim Davis. Now the leader's into lap traffic. Jim Davis in 98 gets the white flag this time. Up, and we've got a yellow over on turn number 2. Yellow flag. That's car 71, Jim Chin from Vandalia, Ohio. And over there with him, car number 2, Lee Raymond from Dayton. Provisional starts in the 50-lap E-Mod feature. After the first 4 finishers are determined in this event. 2 laps to go. White flag this time for Jim Davis. The winner of the E-Mod B-Main, Springfield, Ohio's Jim Davis. Second Second is KC Spillers. Third finisher, Chuck Minott. And fourth in car number 10 is Mike Bruner. The late model B main is next. We had 25 late models, so we're going to run a late model B main to determine the final starters in the late model feature. In car number 41 from Cincinnati, Ohio, John Sedlacek. John Sedlacek in 41. Outside in car number 8 from Harveysburg, Ohio, Jerry Johns. Jerry Johns, the driver of car number 8. Second row, out of Sydney, it's Wayne Watercutter. And beside him in 63, John Hellman from Sydney, Ohio. Next, we've got car 23, Greg Markham. Car number 90, Ron Freebus. And car number 12, Denny Dean. So the first 4 finishers go to tonight's feature. John Sedlacek takes over on the first lap of the B main. Sedlacek the leader in car number 41. Now Wayne Watercutter sideways in the first turn. Watercutter recovers. He runs third. That's Jerry Johns second. Fourth is Greg Markham. Sedlacek with a sizable lead over Jerry Johns. Wayne Watercutter is third, but now Greg Markham trying to challenge for that position halfway. Greg Markham pulls even with Wayne Watercutter through turns 1 and 2. And now Markham is third in car 23. Only 4 survived. Sedlacek out front. Now Freebus to the outside of Wayne Watercutter for 4th spot. Greg Markham moves inside of Jerry Johns to take over second. An easy win for John Sedlacek. Second is Greg Markham. Jerry Johns finishes third. And fourth goes to Wayne Watercutter. Ron Freebus is fifth. And finishing sixth, Denny Dean. So your top 4 cars from that event go to tonight's feature event. In 28 out of Fort Wayne, Scott Coe. Second row, Donnie Geyer in 111 from Coldwater, Michigan, and Buddy Cunningham in 17C from Spencer, Indiana. The third row, Ken Dayton out of Fortville, Indiana in 78, and 37, Ron Dancer from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Next up, 11S, Dave Stacy from Enon, Ohio, and Dave Bice from Avila, Indiana. In the fifth row, the inside, your current point leader in the E-Mod Series, from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and 7X, that's Steve Chrisman. And beside him in that row number 5, 2T, Roger Terlowski. Then we've got Roger Winget in 21H from Springfield, Ohio, and Jerry Stapleton from Troy, Ohio in 980. Dan Goad is next in 9G from Lapeer, Michigan, and Rick Stout in 410 from Stanton, Michigan. Dave Mingus starts in the inside of the 8th row in car number 49, and 32 is Terry Flora from Springfield. Jim Davis is next in 98, 38 is Casey Spillers, 97 Chuck Minot, 10 Mike Bruner, 11H Aaron Huff, and 22H Kurt Huff. So that's your 22 car field for the 50 lap E-Mod feature. The traditional E-Mod 4 abreast. This time around, everybody stand up, wave your handkerchief, pull out your wallet and wave your wallet. No, we better not do that. The 4 abreast parade lap, the E-Mods, IMCA modified E-Mods. 50 laps to go. Scott Coe is in second. Third is Donnie Geyer. Now Scott Coe challenges the leader. Dave Stacy on the move in 11. Stacy is up to 4th. Stacy is 3rd. He's trying to move around car 45 for 2nd. Meantime, Scott Coe is the leader in 28. Jerry Stapleton in 980, the spin into the infield. Yellow flag. Jerry Stapleton, he was able to get it fired to get back onto the racetrack. Strangely enough, it wouldn't run after that. Go figure. Unique features of the E-Mod series, the double file restarts. I believe they do it up until 5 laps to go. There we go, 1 lap to go. We'll be back underway. 6 are complete. Scott Coe, Dave Stacy on the front row for the restart. Coe and Stacy battle through turns 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Scott Coe on the inside. Dave Stacy on the outside. And now Dave Stacy out front. Scott Coe second. Ken Dayton is third. Car number 7, Steve Crispin, moves up to 4th spot. He pulls with him Dave Bice. Dave Bice now 6th. Actually, Dave Bice is 5th. He'll go to work on Crispin. Dave Bice in 23, the winner here last year. So the leader is Dave Stacy, Kenny Dayton second, but now David Bice to the inside of Ken Dayton. David Bice in 23 is now second. The race, this was the race earlier in the heat race. Stacy in 11, Bice in 23. David Bice from Avila, Indiana. Stacy from Enon, Ohio. The race for the lead. And now Dave Bice from your 8th starting spot is the new leader. Dave Stacy holds on in second. Third is Ken Dayton. Fourth in car 111 is Donnie Geyer. Complete, 15 laps down. And car number 10 off the track. That's Mike Bruner in 10. He's out. On the backstretch. Flora is off the pace in car 32. And now Flora out in the infield. Dave Bice out front. Dave Stacy second. Kenny Dayton third. Bice, able to get through in car 23, your leader. Looks like Jerry Stapleton in 980. Car 97, another car down there spun out. Chuck Minot. And one more lap. Again, the front 4 rows, Dave Bice and Dave Stacy in row 1. Kenny Dayton and 111, that's Donnie Geyer in row 2. Steve Chrisman on the inside of row 3. Outside of him in 49 is that Dave Mingus. And the 4th row is Scott Coe in 28, and I believe 410 Rick Stout. Contact down in turns 1 and 2. So wild racing back in the pack. Your leader is Dave Bice. Dave Stacy with trouble. Looks like he's got a real bad push in that car. Front end not turning. Bice is checking out in car 23. Halfway. It's still Dave Bice, Dave Stacy, Kenny Dayton, Steve Chrisman, and Scott Coe, your front 5. Down this time, 20 remain. Trying to get around Kenny Dayton for 3rd spot. He can't do it. flag as car 37, Ron Dancer. In second row, your second and third place cars are Dave Stacy, Kenny Dayton. The fourth and fifth place cars in the race, Steve Chrisman and Scott Coe. We noticed that got around Dave Stacy for second spot in that exchange, but now he goes back after Dayton on the outside. And now Stacy back to second spot, but here comes Dayton again on the backstretch. Steve Chrisman is fourth. Great racing for that second through sixth spot. Ten laps to go, 10 laps. Dave Stacy in sole position of that second spot once again. Kenny Dayton back to third. Giving a driving exhibition in 23. Dave Stacy still second in 11. Five laps to go, 5 laps. Trying to hold off Kenny Dayton for second position. Your leader, white flag to David Bice. Close race for second. The winner, 2 years in a row, Dave Bice. Here comes the second place battle. It'll be Dave Stacy second, Kenny Dayton third. place. Let's hear it for all of the IMCA E-Mods 50 lap feature tonight. Okay, the first 4 cars pull into the infield, and any one of those cars that finishes behind Dave Weiss can claim that engine for $300. So I'll get you a top 10 finish as soon as I have it available. Let's hear it from Villa, Indiana, Dave Weiss. He had the field covered this evening, starting back in that 8th starting spot. He's the defending E-Mod Series champion and the defending race champion here at the Speedway. Start on the front row. The second row is car 26 Gary Carter and 33 Carl Stapleton. Row number 3, that's Jim Kidd and Zero Hill. Then comes Joe Hill and Mike Rush. Next we've got Ken Sward, Jim Cruz, Paul Baker Jr., Mike Brown, Buddy Townsend, Bob Justice, Larry Peterson, and Charlie Osborne. Russ Bob and Bob Bocook, by the way, in car number 10 tonight, all night, has been and still is Steve. No, it's not Steve, it's Rick Stone in 10. 99, J.R. Whitaker, 23, John Matthews, and 01, Jerry Buck. So because of the great crowd out here tonight, these guys will be racing for $300 to win. We've increased the purse in each of the feature events. The late model, a little bit later, I'll tell you about that, is going to pay $1,000 to win tonight. So 30 laps for the limited sportsman feature on Graham Ford Jiffy Lube night at the races. Heckman and Randy Sward lead them around. It's still Heckman on the inside, Randy Sward on the outside. Carl Stapleton is third. Randy Sward with an advantage, but Heckman again comes back in turn 4. John Matthews spins into the infield. No yellow. Still your leaders battle. Randy Sward and Sam Heckman. Zero Hill now up to 4th spot. into the infield. Sam Heckman, the leader. Carl Stapleton up to second spot. Randy Sward third now. And a spin in turn number 3. So Jim Cruz went to the pit area. That's why he's back there on the tail. Gary Carter was one of the combatants in that incident down there. He got into the back of Zero Hill, and that's why he's on the tail. Also, car 20, Mike Brown, went to the pit area, and he's back there at the back of the line. So it'll be Sam Heckman on the restart, Carl Stapleton second, Randy Sward third, Jim Kidd fourth, Mike Rush fifth. 8 laps are down. As Jim Cruz stops in turn number 2. Sam Heckman, Joe Hill making a move on the outside. Hill in 70. Here comes Joe Hill in car 70. Jim Cruz again so far this season, halfway through this 30-lapper. Immediately to the outside is Joe Hill from Germantown, Ohio. Hill, the 1990 Limited Sportsman Track Champion, is challenging. Heckman battles back on the backstretch. And now out front James Heckman. Stapleton is third. Randy Sward fourth. And now Joe Hill with sole possession of first spot. To go, and we got a yellow. Jerry Buck in 01, the yellow flag. Go this time for Joe Hill. He's checking out in a big way from Germantown. Joe Hill, your leader. Stapleton challenging Sam Heckman for the runner-up spot. Good racing back there for that second through sixth position. 5 counters remain. Stapleton now on the outside of Heckman. And we got a big time blow up on the backstretch. Looked like Zero Hill in a ball of flames. Looks like a trail of oil leading down there into the third turn wall. Also Bob Bocook over there in 77 and Charlie Osborne in 02. We see Bocook and Osborne out of the cars. We're trying to check on the condition of Zero Hill at this time. Apparently an engine explosion. Condition is of Zero Hill. Talking to his rescuers, if you will, and appears to be okay for the most part. Again, they're still checking the situation out on Zero Hill. Stapleton trying that outside move, try to get around Sam Heckman. A great battle for second. Starter Jim Ball with the white flag in his grasp. Joe Hill, white flag this time. Ken Sword has moved up top too. Sword on the outside of Mike Rush. Your winner, his second feature this season, Joe Hill. Second, I believe, Sam Heckman. Third, unofficially Carl Stapleton. Fourth, Randy Sword. And I better wait for the rest of the top 10. No doubt about your winner. Car number 70, Joe Hill. Ford Jiffy Lube night at the races from Germantown, Ohio, Joe Hill. I think if we hold that banner behind the car there, we might get the glare off of it there. Do it at an angle, but that's just my idea there. Joe, of course, the 1990 Limited Sportsman Track Champion. He gets the feature winner's hat, the Winston Racing Series feature winner's hat. His Ford Jiffy Lube 35 lap late model feature. Starting first in car number 26, it's Bill Cantley. Outside in 21, John Vallow. The second row, car 7, is Bobby Edwards, and beside him in 92, Donnie Renner. In row number 3, car 64, Bobby Fye. And car number 19, Carlton Smith. Then comes 11, Dick Dunleavy Jr. And 61, Mike Ward. Ward, the fast qualifier this evening. Then starting 9th is car number 1, Terry Humphrey. Outside of him in 6. In car number 6 is Jerry Mitchell. 94, Robbie Dean is next. He comes 83, Lonnie Rush Sr. 15, Mike Carroll. 59, Burgess White. 5, Bussy Blackford. 39, Randy Maynard Jr. 4, Mike Denny. 16 is car 16, Mike Simpson. 41, Johnson Lassick. 23, Greg Markham. Number 8, Jerry Johns. And car number 9, Wayne Watercutter. 22 cars, 35 racing laps. $1,000 the winner. 35 laps. Bill Cantley second. John Vallow, Bill Cantley, Bobby Edwards, Donnie Ritter, Carlton Smith. And now Dick Dunleavy Jr. Dunleavy with a spin in car number 11.
Not tonight now. Well, you can't say that.
better is out in car 9. Mike Ward up to 5th spot. Here comes Bobby Edwards on the outside of Bill Cantley. Burgess White with a spin over in turn number 3. John Vallow with an exceptionally slow start. Mike Ward 5th. Carlton Smith is 6th. The lap car of car number 8 is a lap car. Halfway, 18 laps complete this time. complete. Now Bill Cantley, we heard that car misfiring last time by. Jr. in car 39 brings out the caution. Still third. Ballow's car not turning real well. Cantley challenging. Again. 5 laps to go. 4 laps this time. Cantley again under Mallow. Tough break for Bill Cantley. I believe without that misfiring engine, he might have had something for the 5-time track champion. Cantley comes home second. Third is Bobby Edwards. Finishing fourth unofficially was Donnie Renner. So the street stocks will be the 21st event of the evening. If you're leaving, thanks for coming out, folks. The street stocks are yet to come. Fallow with his 4th feature win of 1993. Once again, next Saturday night, the 75 lapper, and my guess is you'll see that 21 car start last, going for that $2,000. Ryan New, Kevin Ingram and Vic Matheson, Ty Trowbridge and Mike Hamilton, Don Holland and Mike Schweier, Jamie Hunt, Norman Ackerman, Jim McCulley, Herb Pennington, Bill Hundley, and Dave Dysinger, Dale Brown, Steve Tuttle, Don Townsend Jr., and Heavy Hill, Donald Parsons, Bo Davis, Phil Gussler, and Bill Wellman. 25 laps. So Mike Schweier and Don Holland getting together on that start. They're trying to get those cars turned around. Your leader is Herm Huntley. Second is Bubba Parsons. Brian New is third. Vic Matheson fourth. Clyde Trowbridge in fifth. It's still Herm Huntley, the leader. Bubba Parsons second. Brian New third. Now Clyde Trowbridge trying to move up to fourth spot. The leader is Herm Huntley. Still Bubba Parsons second. Now Brian New trying to challenge him for that spot. Vic Matheson is fourth in car 02. This time by. Signal. Herm Huntley still the leader. go. Rick Honecker in 72, the lap car. They work their way around him. 3 and 4 abreast down there in that back of the leaders. Herm Hunley still out front. Brian New, Bubba Parsons, Vic Matheson, Jamie Hunt. Mike Schweier brings out the red flag. I believe that's Don Holland down there in 79 anyway. I can't see from this angle. The first stoppage of this feature event. And Don Townsend Jr. 8th. Speaking of 8 laps to go. Heavy Hill and Bill Hunley spinning on the backstretch. Both are back underway. 5 laps to go this time for Herm Hunley. 5 laps. Bubba Parsons stalks the leader down the backstretch. Now Don Townsend Jr. goes 3 abreast. Townsend on the outside of Brian New. See if they can make it down the front stretch. Townsend in 77 trying to move around Brian New. Meantime, Bubba Parsons to the inside of Herm Hunley for the lead. Up in that front pack. Now we got trouble on the backstretch. Tire off the car of Vic Matheson. White flag for Bubba Parsons. And we're going to have to go red. Red flag. We got a tire on the backstretch. Bubba Parsons leads them. 2 laps, 6 to go. Now the hood on Herm Hunley's car is ajar. The hood loose on that car number 7. The white flag this time. Don Townsend Jr. closing in 77. Bubba Parsons your leader. Parsons out front down the backstretch, but here comes Townsend Jr. He's closing on the outside. It'll be a close one. Your winner, Bubba Parsons. Don Townsend Jr. comes across second. Third was Donald Parsons. And fourth, Steve Tuttle. So a full night of racing here at Columbus Motor Speedway. 21 racing events. Bubba's car sponsored by Big JR's Towing, Steer and Gear, Joe Price Custom Clutch, the Fast Ford Shop, Tannerelli's Used Auto Parts, and Ron's Towing. Customer Service Satisfaction Leader here in Columbus. Let's hear it for Bubba Parsons. Next week, the Firecracker Championship, 75 laps for the late models. We'll have to check with Vallo and crew to see if they'll want to start on the tail. Go for that too.